Ready to form Voltron. Activate interlock. Dynatherms connected. Infracells up. Mega thrusters are go! Go, Voltron Force! Form feet and legs.
Hello. I am
Form.
back again.
Another one.
I was not here for a little while. I had not posted something in a little while just because I'd had some light surgery. And what better place to return than with the oddity that is Korg's short-lived line of video gear. So, of course, today, as you may have noticed from reading this, we have the Korg Krossfour, not to be confused with the Cross number 4. You can see by the design, it is a friend of the Chaos Pad Entrancer series, and they also had a video sampler in a similar style that is a lot harder to get your hands on. I'm not going to harp on about the Kickstarter for, let's do it this way, for the video exchange, but it has been going amazingly well. I'll have the link in the description. Check it out. I'm going to be doing what I normally do in videos, show you the equipment that we're looking at, the old, cool, vintage video gear. I'll talk through its features, what it's got, what's built into it, what you can do with it. And then I will set it up with some other equipment, probably our friend here, and make some cool, weird video stuff. So yes, our beautiful friend here, the Korg Krossfour from 2004, go figure, is a 2-bus, A bus, B bus, 4 input mixer, 1, 2, 3, 4. It also has a hold function. Put you to one side. Also has a hold function. Monitor select out, so it has a preview out. This is actually just a power light indicator. You will see it as flashing, but to the human eye it is a solid light. And then of course we have this beautiful DJ style backlit fader, and it is in the blue anodized design. So Korg went through a brief period of making cool, weird video gear for VJs. This was designed to accompany either the Entrancer or their video sampler as a means of getting like a bit more functionality out of it, being able to, mix in some more live sources, being able to have more inputs, more control. You can see it's very clearly modeled after a DJ style mixer. It's got no classic kind of video effects, but it is very small and very simple. If we jump around to the back, you can see we get one S video input, 3 composite inputs, one S video output, and a composite video output. We also can select between NTSC and power with a switch on the back. That is true of most of the things in this series. Definitely true of the Entrancer, the classic Korg 7-volt power thing, and then a nice little depressible button. And if we look around the front, another interesting oddity of design, we have fader curves, which I will talk about in a minute. We also have a number of modes black, white, Chroma Key and Luma Key, the adjustment for the Chroma and Luma Key, a fourth input located on the front, which I think is quite cool, and we also have the monitor out, which I'm not quite sure why the monitor out is on the front. Input 1 is the camera that you are seeing me through currently. Thumbs up. Input 2 is feedback. So it looks like nothing at the moment. That is because we cut to the feedback. You see if I transition to the feedback, we start to get some nice kind of sideways burn. I am always so interested in how different feedback appears on different devices. So if you've seen some of my other videos, like the Eddie Roll V4, it is a kind of upwards drifting, very colorful, very sort of vibrant feedback. Whereas this one, very green, it's very sideways in an interesting way. Input 3 is nothing at the moment, so nothing is a blue screen here. And input 4 is our little friend here, which I just have playing a big loop of random VJ things that I grabbed off archives.org. So, first things first, I showed you the fader curve here as I move the fader. Let's put it over here on blue so we can see. You can see me transitioning smoothly across the length of the fader. Placed in the middle here, we fade to black before fading back up. This position here, there is a small fade that takes place right in the middle, and then quite a lot of unaffected stuff on either side. And the final one is essentially a cut. So we have 4 different fader options, which is an interesting and nice kind of touch. We also have over here black, white, Chroma Key, Luma Key, which I will come back to oh so momentarily. I did mention the hold. Hold is just a freeze frame. But the manual, of course, suggests that you can use hold to lock a background in place when you do Chroma Key or Luma Key or something fun like that. This doesn't have any wipes, it doesn't have any transition effects. The impression I get from everything I've read about it, it is honestly just meant to be super simple, easy as it comes. The other members of the family, the other devices in the series, they're like the big heavy hitters. They're the cool brother and sister that do the fun, fancy effect stuff, and that this is just like dead simple, you know, easy mixing, don't think too much about it. You might notice the picture is not as tight, it's not as kind of clean and clear. Lower color depth. Also chroma subsampling, which is something interesting in and of its own right. And then the U and the V are save on bandwidth and reduce the resolution of those differential color components. We can see that our friend here is not the sharpest or the cleanest tool in the bunch. Yeah, jack your body. It's not the sharpest or cleanest tool in the bunch. I still think it is a cool tool, partially because of its small size. So, let's take a look at what these things mean. So when I got this mixer, I was not really aware of the Chroma Key, Luma Key, some of this stuff, because I didn't find it particularly well documented online. But But here is the interesting thing. So, black, there is nothing on channel 3. So when I move to channel 3, I get blue. So you'd be like, huh, that's a bit weird. What's up with that? Now if I click the 3 again, it starts to flash. And that is now black. So I'm now able to fade between video, the flashing B bus, which is now black. And if I flick to white, now the same is true, but for white. So I can fade to black or fade to white by making it so that the A bus or B bus has a flashing input. Interesting, very interesting. Now, Chroma Key and Luma Key are different again. The background always has to be on the A bus. Don't know why, that's just a decision that was made. Here I am on Chroma Key. And we can see, I'm looking at my monitor here, that as I turn the fine tune knob here, certain parts of the image are being chroma keyed out. Let's see what, try to get something. Yeah, here we go. So let's get this in a good position. So you can see as I turn this, we start to key out some blue. It's a really like grainy, harsh key. There's really like not a lot of subtlety in there at all. Next one along, I said, was Luma Key. So here we can see as I turn the fine knob, go all the way from taking the blacks and keying them out. Kind of increase that. We move through to the greys. So now we're keying out the greys, lighter and lighter and lighter until we hit the light whites. This is more of the greys here, sorry. Till we hit the light whites, and now really only the highlights of me you can see it being keyed here. And of course, you know, the background need not be a solid color, you know, why would it be? Here we have our video input. I love how grainy and harsh the Luma Key is on this. It's really dirty, it's really weird. You can still crossfade. And here we have the feedback layer being used as our background layer. So feedback. Now we get these nice kind of gritty, grainy trails that I'm quite a big fan of. So honestly, there's not too much to say to this thing. It's really just a straight down the line, small form factor mixer. I really like it because of how dirty those keys are, how small it is, very into the design, the way that it matches the Entrancer. I'll just hook it up and have a look at what kind of fun little stuff I can do with it, especially using the Chaos Pad Entrancer. So, very simple setup today. I'm teaming the Korg Krossfour video mixer with the Korg Chaos Pad Entrancer. So, I'm not going to talk too much about the Entrancer. It's going to have its own video one beautiful day. But in the meantime, suffice to say, it's like a Chaos Pad in terms of there being an XY pad that affects the incoming signal. It's got a loop function, which I use the rubber band for. Classic. You can hold your position, you can sample video, tap tempo stuff, you can mute/freeze, get a bunch of presets. There's about 99 actual different video effects. I could go on for a lifetime about what is interesting about the combination. One is the camera, two is input from our friend down here, slightly dodgy cable. Three is nothing, and four is feedback. So here I've got it set up so that the feedback is now coming in 1. The input 4 is our camera running through our friend here. But because our feedback is here and the Luma Key is now being applied to it, so there are holes being cut in our feedback. So again, this is a very, very simple kind of setup. Really only using these 2 elements and a camera. And normally would like to use some other kind of, fancier stuff. Well, what to say? Super duper straightforward. A very simple mixer. I like it. It's definitely not in my constant setup rig like some of the others. It's definitely more of a sometimes mixer. When I bought this one, I actually got 2, so I am trying to sell off one of these. It's cool as an extra mixer. It's cool as something where you need something super duper simple. You want something nice and kind of a bit crunchy and dirty. Maybe you've got a bunch of video synths and you want to be able to move between them nice and quickly. You want to be able to preview them before sending them out. Maybe you would like to have a cool little feedback loop in there. Something that you can, add a little bit of crunch with by kind of tweaking the Luma Key with a little direct feedback, or maybe something a bit simpler than this would be in your effects rack. How much they sell for? Australian, they're around the $350 range. You'd have to convert that to US. Cool ass mixer, very small, very good, cool kind of like extra tool that I like to use for adding some extra elements to my main rig. It's kind of got everything you'd expect from a mixer from around this time period, only it's been stripped down. It's been made to accompany these other devices. So let me know, have you got one? Have you seen them? Do you want one? How would you use them? What kind of, ways would you want to use them? Yeah, hit me up in the comments. Hit subscribe if you want to be notified when I make another one of these. I've got a backlog of a couple of videos talking about this kind of gear, how to use this kind of gear, how I use this kind of gear. Again, the friend here, Kickstarter, still going. It's raised an amazing amount of money, to which I am truly grateful, but that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah. Stay tuned. I will be doing one of these in the not too distant future. Peace.